Do you dream of growing your own food or living sustainably, but feel like you're too old to start or too young to know how? Or maybe you feel stuck in normal life, wishing for a simpler, more meaningful one. Well, this is your wake-up call. We're going to break down the barriers and show you some simple, workable steps to embrace homesteading right now at any age. Homesteading has grown in popularity recently, but a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the only way to do it is with a large tract of land in the country. And sure, that's one way to do it, but just because that's how my great-grandparents did it doesn't mean it's the only way. Webster's dictionary provides several definitions of homestead. The very first entry is a verb and just means to acquire or occupy land as a homestead. That implies intent. So, if you intend to homestead on your own land, then that qualifies. No mention of size or location. Another definition it offers is to live frugally or self-sufficiently, especially by growing and preserving food. Again, no mention of size or location. So if the very definition of the word homestead doesn't require you to have 30 acres in the wilderness of the Old West to operate correctly, why do we think that's what we need to even get started? If you currently live somewhere with no more access to the wilderness than a window, you can grow some of your own food. You can start with just a simple herb planter. Things like parsley, mint, chives, cilantro, and lemon balm all thrive in areas with partial or dappled sun exposure. And they can all do quite well even in a window with mostly indirect sunlight. Now, if you do have a little bit of access to a yard, a patio, or even the rooftop of a building, you can grow a wider variety of herbs, as well as some fruits and vegetables in smaller spaces like window boxes, raised beds, or vertical gardens, and that can be a great way to add to your own food supply. Of course, if you'd rather start somewhere other than with plants, there are also options for caring for smaller livestock. Chickens, bees, and rabbits can all be taken care of in much less space than you might think. Bantam chicken breeds are specifically bred to be smaller and more manageable in less space. Now, they generally only get between 1 and 2.5 pounds, and of course that does mean the eggs will be smaller. But if the goal is to move more towards sustainable living and you need options for a smaller footprint, they're a great choice. Honeybees can be managed in no more space than it takes to put out a hive box. They frequently travel up to 2 miles or more to find pollen and nectar sources, and it's not uncommon even in places like New York City for bees to be kept, again, on rooftops. Plus, if you use horizontal hives and more natural beekeeping, you don't even have to contend with moving around 60-plus pound boxes or manipulating equipment and feeding and treatment tools all the time. Don't say anything to the conventional beekeepers. A lot of them don't like it. For meat rabbits, there are breeds called compact breeds. Like the bantam chickens, these were bred specifically to take up less space and be managed in a more compact environment. These rabbits can be raised in a simple hutch and fed pellets designed for meat breeds. Several of these breeds are commonly known for being easy to raise. Probably the most important note to make about beginning homesteading is that, in spite of even some of the wording that we've used here, self-sufficiency is a myth. Even if you have all of the tools, resources, and experience necessary to do all of this on your own, God didn't design humans to be secluded. You need community. We need people to help guide us as we learn. And then later on, we need to be able to pass that knowledge on and guide other people as they learn. Almost every area has local networks for helping to find a mentor. There are co-ops and bartering auctions you can look up. There will be people available to help you find resources at your local university ag extension, a feed store, the farmer's market, a swap meet, livestock auctions, and most likely, all of those places will have information on hand ready for you to take with you. Don't forget there are also online forums that you can search out and gain information. Try to find some that are centered within your region or at least your USDA zone. Just keep in mind that nothing is actually a replacement for interpersonal connection. That can only be achieved by in-person contact and hands-on learning. And don't expect to do everything all at once. This is a community environment. The skills you have are the most valuable currency available to you. You can trade and barter services with other people in your area. I'm terrible at building fences, but if I can be immodest for just a second, I'm pretty good at keeping bees. I can help someone start up an apiary and troubleshoot any issues they might be dealing with. In exchange, people are often willing to help make sure that your fence actually keeps things in or out. I can teach someone how to set up a swarm trap, and in exchange, they can teach me how to put a cattle panel on a T-post without having your fence looking like it's at a ball game doing the wave. Each small success fuels the next, regardless of how grand your ultimate vision. As you learn new skills, you can then give back to the community that helped you, so that you in turn can help fuel the next batch of beginning homesteaders. So do what's called vision casting. Imagine your life in 1, 5, or 10 years with a thriving homestead, no matter its scale. Then formulate a concrete plan. What one step can you take right now to begin?